My beloved, listen to me now. Do not delay. The very moment you are hearing this, heaven is moving. This is not just a message. It is the turning point your soul has been crying out for. You thought you were waiting on me, but I was preparing the moment for you. Everything I hid is now being revealed. Every delay was divine, and now what was behind the curtain is stepping into your timeline. Do not scroll, do not pause, do not blink, because what I'm about to say carries the weight of your next season. This is not encouragement, it is instruction. This is not comfort, it is commissioning. What you hear next will either awaken you or pass you by. Stay, because everything is about to shift, and it begins right now. You thought nothing was happening, but I was working behind the scenes, inscribing your name into a plan so detailed, so miraculous, it could only come from me. You only perceived silence, but I saw your future. You only sensed delay, but I saw destiny. Every blocked path, every closed door, every moment of confusion was a deliberate reroute toward something far greater than your expectations. This is no accident. It is strategic. Heaven did not forget you. It prioritized you. Now, all I concealed for this moment is beginning to emerge. The hidden scrolls of your purpose are being unsealed, and your name glows in golden ink across the canvas of my intention. You must understand, this is not a minor shift of favor. This is a complete divine reordering of your season. I withheld certain things for a reason, and now, with divine timing activated, I am releasing a plan so grand it will astonish not only you, but everyone who ever doubted my hand on your life. You are not late to this. You were always meant to arrive. Now, the perfect time has intersected with your obedience, and what I have been doing behind the scenes demands center stage. Do not blink. Do not retreat. What you are about to step into is not merely an opportunity. It is a divine revelation. This plan has only ever carried your name. Do not allow the lies of delay to convince you that I overlooked you. I see you. I know every sigh you released in the darkness, every tear swallowed in silence, every dream buried beneath the weight of waiting. Let me be clear. What is being released now from heaven's storehouse bears your name carved into it. This is not a recycled promise or a generic blessing. It is deeply personal. I have not called your neighbor, your friend, or someone deemed more qualified by the world. I have called you. Your name was written into this breakthrough before you even realized how desperately you would need it. Every battle you faced was not proof of my forgetfulness. It was confirmation that the enemy feared what I planted within you. You are not an afterthought. You are not a backup plan. You are the chosen vessel for this very hour. The blessing coming will fit you perfectly, custom designed for your calling, tailored to your obedience, aligned with your very fingerprints. You may feel weary from the burden, but I have preserved you for the weight of this victory. I did not abandon you. I pulled you aside to prepare you privately for what I am about to reveal publicly. This isn't just about you receiving something. It's about the world witnessing that my covenant with you was never broken. You've been assigned a victory so divine that when it arrives, even your enemies will declare, "The Lord did this." And yes, it bears your name on every detail. Do not shrink back now. Do not question if you deserve it. It is yours because I authored it. It is immense, and it has awaited your yes. You don't realize what has already shifted in the spirit realm on your behalf. While you prayed, fasted, wept, and even doubted, heaven moved. I dispatched angels, issued decrees, opened scrolls with your name, and sealed them with the fire of my authority. Everything required for your release has been activated above. It is done. But now the earth must catch up, and it will. Expect sudden changes. Expect natural laws to bend in your favor. Expect timing to accelerate and resistance to dissolve. I have given the command. and the earth will now reflect heaven's will over your life. Don't trust what your eyes reveal. Trust what I have already settled in my throne room. What was stuck is about to move. What was missing is about to appear. What was broken is about to be restored. You will witness events align with divine precision because I am pressing my hand into your life's timelines, compelling the delay to surrender. The shift is not coming. It has already begun. Do not hesitate. Act as if the answer is already here, because it is. I'm not waiting on the world. The world is waiting for you to believe that what I have spoken is manifesting now. Creation groans for my sons and daughters to step into what I have decreed, and you, my child, are about to see the earth respond to your destiny as if it always awaited the weight of my glory resting upon you. Move now, because what you asked me for is now calling for you. There is a divine urgency around you, and I need you to hear this with your spirit fully open. What once seemed endlessly stalled is now being pulled forward with force. You did not miss your moment. You were not disqualified. The season you thought passed you by is being revived with a speed that will leave you breathless. I am not consulting others' opinions, nor am I using your past pace to dictate your future progress. I'm interrupting what you believed was a permanent pause. I'm cutting the cords that held you in place and thrusting you into divine forward motion. You didn't lose time. I was preserving it so that when I released you, you would cover ground faster than you ever imagined. What felt like a wilderness was actually me, pulling you aside so nothing could contaminate what I was building inside you. Now I've removed those restraints, and you will see what was quiet for years roar with my power. You will look at something that once terrified you and realize I prepared the way before you took a single step. You won't have to force this acceleration. It will carry you. It won't drain you. It will revive you. I am turning minutes into milestones. Meetings you could not schedule before will suddenly come to you. Opportunities beyond your reach will now seek you because I have marked you with undeniable favor. The pace you're about to move in is not your own. It is prophetic momentum ignited by your surrender, fueled by my glory. What was delayed was never denied. I was simply creating a moment so dramatic, so unforgettable, that when it arrived, you would know without question it came from me and me alone. You won't even have time to catch your breath before the next blessing arrives, one after another. Momentum will meet you from every direction, and when people ask how this happened so suddenly, you will have no words, only wonder. Because this is not strategy, it's sovereignty. This is not networking, it's my name making room for yours. This is not coincidence, it's confirmation. My child, prepare yourself. This is not a temporary breeze, this is prophetic. What once resisted you will now respond to my voice, not because of your effort, but because of my decree. You stood before opportunities that felt impenetrable. You knocked until your hands were raw, waited until you nearly gave up, and wondered if the silence meant denial. But what you didn't see was how I assigned angels to those doors, waiting for the signal only I could give. Now, child, that signal has been released. I have spoken a word in the spiritual realm no one can reverse, and because of it, the doors that were barriers are becoming gateways. Not one, but a series of divine openings are forming before your eyes. You won't need to force your way in. You won't have to plead or perform. The weight of your effort is being replaced by the strength of my command. I'm not just opening doors, I'm unlocking places once sealed to your lineage, breaking generational barriers that excluded others but now welcome you. These are not ordinary doors. They lead to rooms prepared for your calling, spaces designed for your mantle, atmospheres where your voice, gift, and assignment will flourish without apology or resistance. I am removing the proud doorkeepers and replacing them with my spirit, who recognizes you not as a guest, but as rightful heir. You've waited in the hallway long enough. The season of almost is over. You will no longer hear "not yet" or "you're not ready," but "I have unlocked." No force of hell can shut you out. You will walk through with the confidence of one who knows their Father authored the access. Do not hesitate. Step in, even if your knees shake, even if you feel small. The door is open, not because of who others see you as, but because of who you are in mine. And the moment you cross the threshold, you will understand why I didn't allow you to enter prematurely. Because now everything inside is ready for you, and you are ready for everything inside. You must know this now. Every whispered request, every tear-soaked cry, every desperate petition that seemed to vanish into silence was never discarded or forgotten. I was never ignoring you, child. I was holding each prayer with care, storing it in heaven's chamber that opens only when the time is ripe for fulfillment. You assumed delay meant disinterest, but I was guarding your prayers until the atmosphere could sustain the weight of my response. I did not answer prematurely because I love you too deeply to let you receive something your surroundings couldn't uphold. Even when you thought I was distant, I was closer than your breath, collecting your intercessions and saturating them with my timing, not just my power. And now listen closely. Now is that appointed moment. Now is the hour I have been shaping you for in silence. I am releasing prayers you forgot you prayed. I'm answering what you dared only whisper in weakness. I'm breathing life into declarations made through trembling faith and shaky hope. Let me remind you, your voice mattered then, and it matters now. The silence was not rejection, it was preparation. If I had answered when you expected, you would have received something temporary. Because I waited, what you're about to receive will be permanent, lasting, and transformative. You will soon hear your voice echo back, not empty but full, mature, powerful. With such precision, you will know it was made just for you. I did not let you hear me then, so that when you hear me now, you will never forget the sound of breakthrough. Even the requests buried under disappointment are sprouting roots again. Don't be surprised when old dreams awaken with new strength. This is not coincidence. It's divine preservation. I kept your prayers in my hands so that when I answered, it would change not just your day, but your entire direction. Get ready, child. I am releasing what has been reserved for such a time as this. This very moment is not random. It is sacred. It is the fulfillment of layered moments, prayers, struggles, and sacrifices, all converging into this divine appointment. I am not speaking vaguely. I am calling you with clarity. This is the time everything begins to shift, not because you figured it out, but because you are willing to follow me even without all the answers. I do not require perfection. I desire your yes. This is not a season to hesitate, delay, or overthink. You've done enough analyzing. Now it's time to align. My voice is not demanding, it is groaning. My call is not confusing, it is confirming. You feel it in your spirit, that gentle pull that won't leave you alone. That's me. I'm not inviting you into a plan that merely improves your life. I'm ushering you into the plan that fulfills your eternal purpose. Everything I've placed in you, every gift, every insight, every quiet passion, is being activated through your obedience. Do not look around for others to come with you. This road begins with one step, yours. The instruction may seem small, but its spiritual weight is massive. I have hidden miracles inside movements of faith. Your yes is the key to what has been locked for generations. I will use your simple response to ignite an outcome far beyond your comprehension. Others may question you. Fear may whisper uncertainty, but obedience silences every opposing voice. You won't always feel ready, but I never asked for your readiness. I asked for your willingness. I will supply what you lack as you walk. I will strengthen every weak place and go before every fearful step. You don't need to predict the outcome. You just need to say yes and mean it. Because the yes you give me today is the seed of a harvest that will impact countless lives tomorrow. Do not delay, beloved. The timing is now. The door is prepared, but only obedience will open it. There is divine territory assigned to your name that no other soul can access, step into, or fulfill. You were not created to be a replacement or a reflection of someone else. You are an original design carved by my hands, with a unique purpose that cannot be duplicated. What I have spoken over you is exclusive to the sound of your footsteps, the rhythm of your faith, and the surrender of your heart. Others may have walked similar paths, but what I've reserved for you carries dimensions only you can unlock. You must understand that your voice matters now. The way you carry my presence, speak truth with compassion, and love those deemed unlovable. This is no coincidence. It is proof your assignment is not generic, but surgically specific. Stop comparing your pace to others. Stop shrinking because of their applause. What I placed in you is too valuable to be silenced by self-doubt. There are places in this world still dark because they await the fire I hid in your spirit. Hearts won't heal until they hear your testimony, and atmospheres won't shift until your feet stand firm within them. I did not call you to blend in. I anointed you to step in. This is not competition, this is completion. My body is not whole until you take your place, and I will not fill that space with anyone else because it was made for you. You may feel inadequate, you may feel unworthy, but none of that disqualifies you. Your surrender qualifies you. The enemy has tried to distract you with feelings of replaceability, but I declare now, your seat is reserved, your role is irreplaceable, and your moment is unfolding. Walk boldly, not arrogantly, but in revelation. You were never meant to stand at the edge wondering if you belong. You were meant to step fully into the space I crafted before your birth. What once pressed you down will now lift you up. Everything you endured is being transformed, not erased but redeemed. I saw the moments you felt crushed by unanswered questions, betrayals that broke your spirit, and burdens too heavy to bear. Not one tear was wasted. Not a single night of agony went unnoticed. I was there, not silently observing, but as your comforter, catching every cry and storing every ache for the day I would turn it into glory. And that day is coming. The wounds the enemy hoped would silence you will be the reason your voice carries such power. The fire that almost consumed you will become the light guiding others out of darkness. I do not let suffering have the final word. I use it as soil where destiny takes root. Your scars are not shame, they are survival. Proof that what tried to break you failed. The lessons learned in silence become wisdom in your speech. The empathy gained through heartbreak opens doors talent alone cannot. I am lifting you not despite your pain but through it. This elevation cannot be copied because it is born not of performance but perseverance. What makes this moment sacred is that you never demanded it. You waited. You grew. You trusted me when nothing made sense. Now, I am turning your valley into a launching pad. The pain that whispered defeat will roar with purpose. Others will see not just success, they will see resurrection. They will see my hand where there was once emptiness. You will walk places once only dreamed of, not because you fought your way in, but because I used your brokenness as a ladder into destiny. There were times you felt surrounded by fierce, unjust opposition, wondering if righteousness was worth it. You endured false accusations, silent betrayals, cruel judgments, and hidden mockery from those who thought I wasn't watching. But I was. I saw every conversation you were excluded from. I heard the whispers behind your back, I witnessed the smiles that masked plotting. Though you wanted to defend yourself, you chose stillness. Though you could retaliate, you chose integrity. Heaven noted your restraint, and now I am stepping into the scene you tried to walk away from. I am not repaying shame for shame or wound for wound. I am releasing divine justice. Those who questioned your calling will witness your crowning. The voices that said you were finished will tremble when they see what I raised through your life. This isn't revenge or human vindication. I will speak for you in ways no human explanation can. I will orchestrate circumstances that leave no doubt. My hand is upon you. You won't need to justify yourself. I will make your fruit undeniable. What makes this moment holy is I am not exposing them to shame, but revealing you to restore what they tried to erase. Your enemies were never more powerful than my plans. They only failed to see that opposition sharpens the vessel I exalt. Watch what I do next. I will elevate you before those who buried you, not to humiliate them, but to testify that I vindicate those who trust me in silence. Keep walking in peace, child, because the stage they tried to block you from is the one I am preparing for your unveiling. The seasons you felt overlooked were not punishment. They were preservation. I kept you hidden, not for lack of purpose, but because your purpose was still maturing. I wasn't withholding opportunity. I was cultivating depth. While others raced for visibility, I pulled you aside to refine what fame would have destroyed too soon. You may have felt buried, but you were planted. Now, at the appointed time, I am revealing what I formed in silence. I am unveiling the version of you created in secret, the one shaped by fire, sustained by faith, molded in surrender. This is not a reintroduction to others. It's a revelation to yourself. You are about to recognize the magnitude of what I placed inside you because I am calling it forth without limit. No more hiding behind fear. No more freezing to keep peace. No more dimming your light to comfort others intimidated by it. You were not made to be unseen. You were made to shine with authority, humility, and truth. The real you is courageous. The real you carries wisdom born from pain survived. The real you needs no validation because you've already been affirmed by the one who shaped you. I'm not promoting a mask. I'm elevating your true design. Prepare for unfamiliar rooms, unusual favor, unexpected invitations. I am bringing visibility to what I once concealed. When they see you, they will witness not a performance, but a presence, mine through you. You were hidden to protect your oil. Now you are revealed to pour it. And no one can stop this unveiling because I ordained the process. This moment you enter is not random, it is royal. I did not assign you merely to survive. I designed you to reign where your voice once trembled and your hands once felt weak. You were not overlooked in power's seats. You were reserved for a throne requiring humility, integrity, and divine authority. I do not speak of earthly recognition for vanity, but of spiritual placement, where my authority flows through you to shift hearts and territories. The position I prepare for you will not come from striving or pleasing people, but from alignment with me. I saw your secret service, your honor despite dishonor, your choice of righteousness even at personal cost. I mark those moments as preparation. Now I place you where your impact will multiply, not because of credentials, but because of calling. The influence I give will not inflate ego. It will increase responsibility to represent me boldly and purely. This is not a promotion based on popularity. It is an assignment based on trust. I surround this throne with favor that cannot be bought, discernment to guard you from deception, and grace to sustain you through pressure. Those who tried to limit your influence by minimizing your worth will now watch as I establish you in a role they never anticipated. You will not need to shout to be heard. Your presence will carry weight because my spirit rests on you. Speak when I lead you. Move when I prompt you. Know your authority does not come from a title, but from the throne you kneel before. I did not bring you this far to be a background voice. I raised you to sit, govern, lead, with a servant's heart, Christ's mind, and Spirit's strength. The seat is no longer empty, it belongs to you now. You may not have understood before, but every challenge, battle, and silent struggle was preparing you for something sacred. Nothing you endured was wasted. Not nights of tears, not hours of doubt, not seasons of near surrender. I used it all. While the world saw setbacks, I saw sharpening. While others called it misfortune, I called it molding. I allowed pressure not to break you, but to build strength needed for what's coming. This assignment cannot be fulfilled with shallow faith or surface character. It demands depth only suffering cultivates, and dependence only storms teach. I didn't enjoy your pain, but I used it. Every time you kept going without results, loved without return, or gave when it hurt, I was shaping something eternal inside you. The oil flowing from your life now comes from the crushing you thought would destroy you. Now, what once disqualified you has become your qualification. You've learned endurance, not from lectures but real fires. You've gained wisdom, not from theories, but surviving what others never knew. That's why when you speak, chains break, because your words carry weight forged in battle. I trained you in hidden places, so when I place you before many, your spirit will not falter. This assignment is holy. It's about impact, not popularity. I trust you because you allowed me to shape you unseen. Lift your head. You are not stepping into something unprepared for. You've been training all along. Now it's time to walk in what I've prepared you to carry. While you wondered why doors didn't open or why you weren't seen, I was covering you, not neglecting you. My hand shielded your life, not to hide you from your purpose, but to guard your identity until strong enough for the pressure of visibility. There were platforms you wanted, but I withheld. Not because you lacked ability, but because the world wasn't ready for who you truly are. I was preserving the purity of your assignment, not withholding opportunity. You were not forgotten. You were protected. I watched over your becoming like a master craftsman guards his prized creation. I shielded your name from premature exposure. I kept your gift from exploitation. I allowed some connections to fail because they would reshape you into someone you're not. While you felt losing, I was securing your authenticity. I did not let you be celebrated for an incomplete version of yourself. I waited until the real you was mature enough to carry your calling's weight without losing your essence. Now, with your heart refined, voice clarified, and spirit anchored, I am lifting the veil. I am bringing you forward in strength, not performance. I surround you with purpose, not popularity. You will not need to explain yourself. Your fruit will reveal my work's depth. I didn't let you be known too soon, because I was building something in you that cannot be rushed. You thought you were delayed, but you were divinely shielded until your identity fully aligned with your destiny. Now you will rise, not as a cultural copy, but as my character's reflection. Every time they walked away, overlooked you, questioned your worth, or ignored your voice, it wasn't your failure. It was my intervention. I let them say no because their yes would have led you somewhere I never designed. I removed some people not for your unworthiness, but to make space for those who recognize my anointing on your life. You cried over closed relationships, missed opportunities, and unreceived invitations. But what you saw as abandonment, I used as guidance. I never meant for you to anchor in places unable to sustain your calling. I did not allow their acceptance to become your identity because I formed you whose value is rooted in me, not applause, numbers, or belonging. If I let you stay there, they would limit what I am now releasing through you. I allowed their departure because their presence would distort your vision. I redirected you not as punishment, but because I knew exactly where your impact was needed. Look closely now. The places you were pushed from were never equipped to carry the fullness of what I am birthing in you. Their rejection was not your story's end. It was the start of my orchestration. I blocked what you thought you needed so you would reach for what I always planned. I rerouted your steps when stuck, and now I bring you into rooms you didn't chase, favor you didn't force, alignment you couldn't manufacture. Their denial became the doorway to my destiny, and you will thank me for every rejection because it was me, not them, leading you all along. Prepare your heart. The places where you were once ignored, dismissed, and underestimated are about to witness your return, but not as the version they once overlooked. I have transformed you in secret while they misjudged you publicly. You knocked before and they refused to open. You waited humbly and they passed as if you were invisible. But what they missed then, I have made undeniable now. This is not proving a point. It's fulfilling my purpose. I am sending you back not to beg for a seat, but to claim the territory I intended for you. You won't announce yourself. My favor will speak louder than words. When you enter those rooms, you won't seek approval. You will carry authority. What once rejected you is about to recognize you. The door is opening not due to status, charm, or connections, but because I declared it. You are returning not to relive wounds, but to rewrite history with grace and power. The atmosphere will respond differently now, because my presence rests upon you unmistakably. Even those who doubted your worth will no longer deny the shift in you. They will see what I always saw. You will walk with quiet strength, not arrogance, but divine confidence. Knowing what blocked you was preparing you to be bolder, deeper, and unshakably rooted in me. I am not just returning you to familiar places, I am redeeming them. In doing so, I reveal no rejection can stop the one I appointed. Watch how I make the doors that denied you swing open with honor. In my name, you endured seasons where lies drowned truth, assumptions shadowed intentions, and rumors replaced relationships. You tried defending your heart, explaining what they couldn't understand, but their minds were made up. I saw how that crushed you, not because you needed their approval, but because you longed to be seen rightly. I know what it's like to be misjudged, painted with brushes dipped in bitterness. But now hear me. What human hands tried to label, I am erasing. What mouths twisted, I am rewriting with clarity and honor. My favor rests on you like a banner, speaking louder than any accusation. This is not revenge, it's redemption. I lift you so those who questioned you must reconsider their beliefs. But you will rise with peace, not hardness. I taught you grace under pressure, so when I place you in the spotlight, your light will warm, not burn. My favor is not decoration, it's declaration. It tells the world you belong to me. Your story is mine, and no slander weapon will prosper. You need not argue, correct, or chase approval. I will handle every whisper, misrepresentation, and twisting of truth. When I vindicate you, it will be public, permanent, and pure. Your fruit will speak. Your peace will confirm. Your rise will be undeniable. And through it all, know this: my favor was not given because of who they said you were. It was released because of who I always knew you were. Even before you felt the shift, I dispatched heavenly messengers with detailed instructions concerning your name, assignment, and coming release. You did not see it naturally, but in the spirit realm, there was movement on your behalf that cannot be reversed. The realm you could not touch was active, alive, and alert with divine instruction. I gave orders. I released declaration. I assigned angels, not only to guard you, but to go ahead to announce what is about to manifest. These are not silent messengers. They herald my glory, speaking into resistant territories, softening ground before your arrival, opening gates you didn't know existed. They work even now, aligning circumstances, touching hearts, unlocking hidden favor, and removing obstacles too great for you alone. This breakthrough is not a small flicker. It is a full eruption of promises stored for you. Because it is not sourced from human systems, no opposition can cancel it. I have not left your breakthrough unguarded. I surrounded it with those who obey only my voice. While others strategize by human strength, you are lifted by supernatural backing. That is why the atmosphere feels different. That is why doors open without strain. That is why peace returns where pressure once filled the air. Because I have commissioned heaven to declare what earth is now ready to embrace. Your breakthrough will not come quietly. It will arrive with confirmation, movement, acceleration, and all of it will point back to one undeniable truth. It was never random. It was unleashed because heaven was involved from the very beginning. Step forward boldly now, because what I have spoken in the Spirit is already stirring on the earth. I need you to understand with absolute clarity. What held you captive yesterday no longer has power over you today. The patterns, mindsets, and emotional traps that once repeated like clockwork have been shattered by my hand. The cycle that made progress feel temporary has been broken at the core. You will no longer walk in endless circles, revisiting the same pain cloaked in new disguises. You will not continue waking up hopeful only to end your days in defeat. I have severed the rhythm of disappointment that made you question your worth and delay your joy. That cycle of near success, followed by sudden failure, the pattern of being built up only to be torn down, it has expired. My blood has cut through the timelines of your torment. I have drawn a line in the Spirit, and what was once familiar bondage will now feel alien to you. You will not fit back into the identity you once accepted. The enemy can no longer bait you with the same lies because I have shifted your position. What once felt natural now feels wrong. Not because you failed me, but because you have outgrown the prison that once held you. You are stepping into a life where trauma will no longer be the soundtrack, where regret will not be the narrator, and where shame has lost its voice. You are no longer who you were when the cycle began. You are stronger, deeper, and no longer just surviving. You are ready for strategy, strength, and stewardship. I did not just remove the cycle. I removed the appetite that sustained it. You are not simply free or changed. The paths that led you backward have been closed. There is only forward now, only upward, only deeper into the purposes I have reserved for you. And as you move forward, your steps will feel light. Not because the journey is easy, but because the chains are broken. What I am doing in your life will need no defense, no explanation, no validation. It will speak louder than any accusation or doubt cast against you. Those who questioned your calling, dismissed your journey, and quietly celebrated your delay will be silenced, not through retaliation, but by undeniable results. I have kept your rise concealed long enough, not to punish, but to prepare you for the weight of what is about to be revealed. The shift happening now is not gradual, it is radical. It may seem sudden to them, but you will know it has been years in the making. You did not skip the process, you endured it. You did not take shortcuts, you remained faithful when no one applauded. And now those who labeled you will become witnesses to the fulfillment of what I promised you in secret. You will not need to say a word. Your transformation will be the testimony. I am moving so that your life becomes a living revelation of my glory, a testimony too powerful to be ignored. Their pride will fall silent when they see the hand of the Lord in your elevation. And through it all, I will guard your heart so that you respond not with arrogance, but with compassion. I am not preparing a stage for revenge. I am preparing a platform for purpose. This shift is bigger than personal victory. It's a message to everyone watching that I raise up whom I choose, when I choose, regardless of public opinion. Those who thought they had the final say over your future will see that my word cannot be rewritten. They will watch you enter rooms where you were never mentioned. They will hear your name in places they tried to erase you from, and they will be left speechless because your fruit will speak volumes. I am leading you into a place that will not always make natural sense, and that is by design. If you could see every step clearly, trust would not be required. What I am about to unfold will require you to depend on me like never before, not on your understanding, history, or familiar patterns of my past movement. This next season will stretch your faith because what I am releasing is not small. It is weighty, sacred, and unlike anything you have encountered before. That is why fear will try to meet you at the threshold, whispering lies to paralyze you. But listen carefully. Fear is not your guide. I am. I do not speak in confusion. I do not lead through panic. I lead with peace, and when your steps are rooted in me, even the unfamiliar becomes secure. Do not wait for perfect conditions before you move. Perfection is not proof of my presence. Obedience and faith are the passports to the places I am calling you. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust that I do. When the waters feel deep and the path unstable, remember, I walk on waves and speak peace into storms. What looks risky to others is perfectly aligned with my will for you. You will not sink when I am your anchor. You will not fail when I am your foundation. Take the step, even if your voice trembles, even if your knees shake, even if no one around you understands. Your obedience releases my power. Your trust unlocks my provision. And what I am about to pour into your life will be unmistakably me, prompting only worship in response. So let faith rise and fear fall silent, because what is coming is not just next, it is necessary. You have mourned what was lost, cried over what slipped away, and questioned why so much was stripped while you remained faithful. But hear me now with renewed clarity. This is not only a season of return, it is a season of overflow. I did not let loss have the final say, and I am not interested in merely restoring what was taken. My character is not about balancing the scales. I am the God of multiplication. What left your life was not the end of the story. It was the seed of something far greater. I allowed certain things to be removed, not as punishment, but to clear space for something more valuable. I do not rebuild on clutter. I make room for glory. So stop waiting for things to go back to the way they were. I am not returning you to what was. I am launching you into what could never have existed without the shaking. You lost relationships, opportunities, confidence, even time. But I am redeeming all of it, so what is coming will feel overwhelmingly in your favor. What was stolen will return pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing, not just in quantity, but in quality, richness, and impact. Your influence will increase, your peace will deepen, your relationships will grow healthier, your reach will extend beyond your imagination. You will barely recognize yourself in this new place, not because you changed your identity, but because you are finally walking in your full design. I am restoring years the enemy thought he destroyed. I am multiplying what you gave me in tears. The losses were never final. They were the soil of resurrection. And now the harvest will be abundant and will not delay. What is coming is greater than what was lost, because my nature is not restoration alone. It is overflow. There were days you whispered in exhaustion, "Is this all?" You felt the weight of disappointment like a sentence, as if all your efforts ended at a closed door, an unfinished chapter, a fading dream. But, child, what you saw as an ending was me clearing the page to write something new. I never said it was over. That conclusion came from fear, fatigue, and voices that never knew my plan. I was never finished with you. I was merely shifting the stage. You saw silence, but I was scripting. You saw loss, but I was laying a foundation. You saw stillness, but I was stirring heaven on your behalf. Don't let temporary stillness confuse you. The enemy tried to convince you that your time passed, that your value diminished, that you missed your chance. But I say now with fire and finality, I am just getting started with you. Your purpose was not paused, it was positioned. I am about to breathe life into what you thought was buried. You will see fresh vision where you once only saw ruins. Your hands will build again, but with clarity and confidence. You will feel joy again, deeper, steadier, and unshakable. I am not reviving the old, I am birthing something new through you. And what I begin, I always finish. Your story does not end in confusion or defeat, it unfolds into glory. So remove mourning clothes. Shake the dust from dreams you thought died. There is breath returning, strength rising, and doors opening because I never gave up on you. The chapter you thought was last was only the turning of a page. Watch closely, beloved. The real story starts now. You have heard it in your mind too many times. You missed it. That internal whisper echoing through delays and setbacks was what felt like wasted years. People looked at your age, your past, your timeline, and formed conclusions. Even your thoughts sounded like verdicts, convincing you the opportunity passed, the window closed, someone else took what was meant for you. But child, I am not bound by clocks or calendars. I operate in appointed seasons, not schedules. I do not rush, nor do I forget. I have seen how long you waited, how often you wondered if your moment would come. I heard the questions you dared not speak. Did I wait too long? Did I make too many mistakes? But listen clearly, your moment was never missed. It was preserved. I have been preparing something only deliverable in this exact time, and you are not behind. You are arriving right on time. I hid you on purpose, refined you in the quiet, and brought you to this divine intersection where promise meets readiness. The world may not understand the delay, but they do not see what I was doing behind the scenes. My timing is not your delay, it is your protection. Had I released this too soon, it would have overwhelmed you. Had I given it prematurely, it would have fallen apart. But now, your heart is stronger, your ears sharper, your spirit rooted, and you can carry what I prepared without losing yourself. So silence the voices. Let truth drown the noise. You are not late, you are chosen, and my timing will prove it. There were people who came into your life for a purpose you did not yet see. Some were meant to grow with you, but others were never meant to stay. You held on too long because your heart is loyal, hoping they would change or understand what I was doing within you. But behind your delays, spirits of distraction, confusion, and manipulation worked through relationships I never ordained. I gave you signs, I stirred your discomfort, I allowed tension to awaken your discernment, because what I'm about to release cannot be shared with just anyone. This next chapter demands clarity, alignment, and purity. I am not removing people out of cruelty, but out of mercy. You didn't know they limited favor, poisoned your confidence, or resented your growth, but I saw it all. I heard what was said when you were not present. I watched how they handled your vulnerability. Because you chose to walk with me, I will not allow you to remain tangled in what drains your promise. Do not be surprised when people leave. Do not chase those who disconnect. When I prune, it is not punishment, it is preparation. I clear the space so when I pour, nothing blocks or contaminates it. You need people who pray when you're weary, protect your name when you're gone, and push you toward purpose. Not those who trap you in old patterns or silence your identity. Trust me with the removals. It may hurt now, but soon you will thank me. Because when the wrong connections are gone, the right ones will come quickly. This is divine separation for supernatural joy. Let go and watch me move. What I am lifting you into is not based on your appearance, popularity, or status. It is rooted in your yielded heart when no one watched. I measure greatness by humility, not performance but posture. Your heart's stance when you could have promoted yourself but waited on me. While others chased the spotlight, you chose stillness. While crowds applauded the loudest voice, I delighted in your quiet obedience. Because you chose me in secret, I am now bringing you into influence that will surprise even you. But make no mistake, this is not worldly promotion. It is divine commissioning. It is not about climbing ladders, but carrying burdens I can trust you with. I am not placing you higher to be seen. I am placing you deeper into my will, where responsibility balances with my presence. The elevation I bring will not inflate your ego. It will anchor your soul. It will test motives and refine focus. This is not about building your name, but bearing fruit that glorifies mine. I have seen your willingness to be last, your choice to serve when unnoticed, your faithfulness without reward. That is what I honor. That is what I respond to. Now I exalt you, in due time, not for boasting but to bless. The platform I give is not a pedestal, it is an altar. Every step higher requires deeper surrender. But do not fear, I walk with you every step. Let the world chase position. You, my child, choose surrender and I will handle the rest. Long before you felt ready or worthy, I saw your heart. That was enough. I did not choose you for perfection, qualification, or performance. I chose you because I saw what others missed. A heart that returns to me despite stumbles. A heart that says yes despite fear. A heart that bends, breaks, yet believes. This journey is not about flawlessness but faithfulness. Even when weak, you rose. You doubted, failed, felt shame. But I never based my calling on never falling. Only on your willingness to rise with me. What I am building through you cannot be disqualified by your past because I am not using you as the world defines usefulness. I flow through a yielded vessel, soft, surrendered, not perfect, but purified through intimacy with me. It was never about how high you reached, but how low you bowed. Every return to me in weakness allowed me to do what pride never could. Transform your being. You tried to talk yourself out of this call, pointing to flaws, failures, limits. But I am not intimidated by lack. I am drawn to your desire. I do not need perfection. I need permission, and you have given it repeatedly. That is why I chose you, not the most gifted or polished, but the one who follows my voice when the path is unclear. The one who says yes in darkness and trusts me for dawn. Release the pressure to perform. I don't need to be impressed. I need you close. Your heart, flawed, fragile, faithful, is fully mine. That is more than enough. You believed your fragility disqualified you from your full calling. You viewed your struggles, fears, and tendencies as obstacles I needed to remove. But my power was never meant to erase weakness. It was meant to shine through it. I seek willing hearts, not flawless ones. What you see as limitation, I see as the place where my glory dwells most deeply. When you come to me with trembling hands and honest confession, you give me something more powerful than perfection: access. I delight in turning your not enough into overflow. I take your shame and make it a platform for healing others. My grace is not a supplement for strength. It is the source of strength. You ask me to remove struggle, but sometimes I let it remain so you see how constant my presence is. When you feel weak, that is when I lift you. When you feel inadequate, that is when I speak loudest. Your story's power is not lost because of flaws. It is strengthened because despite them, I never stop moving through you. Stop disqualifying yourself from places I have chosen to reveal myself. Your weakness invites me. It draws me close because in weakness you lean on me most. That is where miracles happen. That is where lives change. That is where transformation begins. Not in strength, but in trusting me. So don't hide your brokenness. Surrender it. I am not ashamed of it. I am about to use it to write your most powerful story. You have spent seasons striving, pushing, exhausting yourself to prove worth. You have prayed, fasted, knocked, waited, and repeated, hoping one more effort would shift things. But hear me now. This next move will not come from striving. It will come from my spirit. I am not asking you to chase breakthrough. I am sending it to where you are. You don't need to beg for what I've already commanded to find you. The blessings coming are in transit, unseen, untouched by human interference, guided only by my authority. What I prepared has your name. It is not rerouted, delayed, or given to another. You don't need to manipulate moments or position yourself where you don't belong. Rest, child. Rest knowing my word never returns void. What I promised will come exactly when it should. Never late, always on time and full. Your effort was never the currency. Your trust was. Because you trusted me when no one else confirmed my promise, I am now releasing what you once chased. Divine connections, resources, healing, opportunity. It is coming, and when it arrives, there will be no question who sent it. You will know it was not your hustle but your surrender. Not your networking, but your obedience. I will not let you exhaust yourself opening what I have already unlocked. So breathe. Release the chase. What is destined for you is not hidden. It is near and on its way. You have asked for a sign, waiting for undeniable proof, an open vision, a dramatic word, a supernatural moment without doubt. But child, I have answered, just not how you expected. I spoke through the timing of a call, the scripture you found when you weren't looking, the conversation that echoed your hidden questions, the stirring in your heart that wouldn't cease. You searched for thunder while I whispered in the wind. I know you longed for clarity. I have not denied you. I speak in intimacy, not performance. You wanted loud confirmation, but I gave lasting peace. My confirmations are often disguised as peace that defies logic, doors closing to protect you, people arriving at divine moments with exactly what you need. I am not hiding my will. I am inviting you to listen deeper. You have sensed it. You have not misunderstood. I have confirmed again and again, even in the stillness. Sometimes I withhold grand displays to develop your discernment, because where I lead next, you won't have time to seek signs. You must move with confidence rooted in my voice. I have trained your ears to hear me in quiet, ordinary, unexpected moments. I am not guiding you just for today. I am preparing you for a future needing faith without spectacle. So slow down. Notice the small things. Trace my hand in your daily life. You will begin to see I have been confirming all along. And yes, what you sensed, it's me. Always has been. What you called waiting, I called shielding. What seemed unnecessary delay was mercy I placed because I saw what you could not. You measured time by what didn't happen, opportunities lost, stalled plans. But I was not withholding good. I was preserving the right moment, environment, and version of you. You wondered why others moved forward while you stayed. Not every forward step is favor. Some fast paths led to destruction. Some appealing doors were traps disguised as distractions. I let them pass by because I never wanted you to succeed at what would harm your soul. You prayed for elevation. I prioritized foundation. My child, this was not a video. It was a visitation. You did not arrive here by accident. Heaven orchestrated this moment with precision. And if your heart burned while listening, that was me. Do not let this word pass through you like a breeze. Let it anchor, shake, and transform you. Because this is only the beginning. There is more I will reveal, more I will speak, and more I have prepared through this very channel. So return, again and again, not to be entertained, but to be encountered. Subscribe not for content, but for confirmation. Turn on notifications, not to stay informed, but to stay aligned. Leave your testimony below. I am watching. Others need your courage. And share this word with someone still in the dark. The light you now carry may be their rescue. What comes next is not random, it is revelation. This is not the end of my message. It is only the pause before the next release. And when it comes, I want you ready. So stay connected, stay open, stay expectant. Because I am not finished speaking, and your next word is already on its way. Amen.